Listen up, bro. Top 10 most based mafia bosses. Let's go. Alright, at number 10 we got Salvatore Maranzano. He looking kinda zesty in this picture, I ain't gonna lie. But this guy is notorious in the Mafia for a reason. He won the biggest Mafia war in history and then created the legendary 5 families which still exist today almost 100 years later. That's based as shit. That's a bigger achievement than Jake Paul creating Team 10. But he wasn't boss for that long before he got whacked, which is why he's only number 10 on this list. At number 9 we got Al Capone, perhaps the most famous mobster of all time. If you didn't know, you would probably think that this guy was your typical older mafia boss who was maybe in his 50s. But no, he was only 26 when he became the boss of Chicago and only 33 when he went to jail. But even though Al Capone's reign as Chicago boss wasn't very long, he definitely left his mark. The level of money and power that he had was unprecedented at that time. He had so much power that not even the Paw Patrol could take his ass down. And at his peak, he made over $100 million a year, which is more than 1.3 billion in today's money. No wonder the dude was fat as fuck. He could buy all the Happy Meals he wanted. Also, he had syphilis. At number 8 we got Stfano Magadino. As a boss, Magadino wasn't anything special. He had his good sides and his bad sides, but is not regarded as a necessarily strong boss. The only reason this is on this list is because he has the longest reign of any mafia boss in the history of the United States. He was the boss of his family from 1922 until his old ass passed away in 1974. 52 years as boss. He kept his ass out the clink as well. That's honestly nuts and based as hell. At number 7 we got Frank Costello. Nicknamed the Prime Minister, Frank Costello was a money-making machine. All these weak-ass dropshipping and crypto millionaires you see nowadays ain't had shit on our boy Frankie. In the 30s, he was notorious for having an insane slot machine empire in New York. At his peak, he owned 25,000 slot machines. He also had all the politicians in his pockets, hence his nickname. However, he wasn't the best at leading and had no time to chat with the mandem in his own family. He basically never met with the members, but he still made the Genovese family extremely powerful, and you gotta give credit for that. At number 6, we got Joe Banano, nicknamed Joe Bananas for reasons I'll get to in a minute. But first, this guy had one of the longest reign of any mafia boss in history, spanning from 1931 to 1968, and he died of natural causes at the age of 97. Anyone who knows shit about the mafia knows that alone means this man had a crazy successful career. Based as shit, he really led the Banano family with style, but he did at one point lag out completely and started tweaking by trying to whack multiple bosses on the commission. For no apparent reason other than brain rot from watching too much Mr. Beast probably. He also went on TV to try and boost his clout. Didn't work. At number 5 we got Tony Arcardo. When people think of the Chicago mob, Al Capone is often the first name that comes to mind. But this Chicago boss had a career that shat on Capone's. His career spans from the 1920s all the way to the 1990s where he passed away. That's absolutely nuts. He basically ran the family for damn near 50 years and he never got his ass thrown in jail. Though he did share his power for a while with fellow boss Paul Ricca, the Chicago Mafia peaked while he was boss, and you just gotta give credit for that. This man was based. At number 4 we got Tommy Lucchese, a very solid boss in basically every way. He was known for great leadership, keeping his ass low key, sweet talking important politicians, and an incredible ability to make bread for his family. The definition of based. In the 60s he was the only real competition to Carlo Gambino, which proves how much power and clout Tommy had. He had a solid reign of 16 years until he died of natural causes. What a G. At number 3 we got Vincent the Chin Gigante. The Chin actually started his career as a boxer, amassing a 21-4 record. Pretty good, but I don't think anyone would have thought that this boxer would become one of the most successful mafia bosses in history. I guess that gives hope to Jake Paul. Perhaps he could become a mob boss too. But Vincent Gigante led the Genovese family from 1981 to 2005, which is a long ass time. He wasn't greedy, but instead ruled with fairness, respect, and smoochies. Well, maybe not. Maybe not smoochies. Took that too far. The Chin also escaped prosecution for years by appearing to be insane, which shows how big of a genius and how base this guy was. At number 2 we got Carlo Gambino. Now I know you've heard this name before. If you were to paint a picture of the perfect mob boss, this would be it. I mean, look at him. My guy was a certified baddie. He made the Gambino family extremely powerful and wealthy. Some people actually argue that at its height, the Gambino family was the most powerful family that has ever existed in Mafia history. He was also the complete opposite of John Gotti in that he stayed low-key and avoided attention from the police. Smart guy, this Carlo Geezer. And at number 1, we got Charles Lucky Luciano. Swagged out this little wristmaster. I know he has a lazy eye and looks like an Italian Forrest Whitaker, but that didn't stop our boy Lucky in becoming shit rich. He was a booty-legger in Prohibition, and when that shit ended, he became a pimp and gambling bossman. But he didn't get there by chance. He had to whack his own boss, Joe Masseria, and later in the same year he took out number 10 on this list, Salvatore Maranzano, which is honestly giving major snake energy, but is also based as because he had to do it to turn the Mafia into what it became. He then created the commission and became a Mafia legend. Without a doubt, the most based Mafia boss in history. That's the top 10. Did you agree? If you did, that's cool I guess. If you didn't, off. I'll see you in the next one.